And welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that, let's be honest, we've all been through: the dreaded headache. We're going to get to the bottom of why they happen, and I promise you, there's a surprising twist you might not see coming. I mean, seriously, who hasn't? You know the feeling, that awful pounding sensation, or maybe a dull ache that just won't quit. It's the kind of thing that can completely derail your day. And when it happens, you probably think, ugh, my brain hurts. It seems pretty obvious, right? It's a headache. But what if I told you that the thing you think is hurting isn't actually the problem at all?
Okay, so let's dive right in. The whole mystery starts with a really big and kind of weird secret about the brain itself.
You heard me right. The organ you blame every single time you have a headache, your brain, isn't the one in pain. Not even a little bit. Wild, huh? So how is that possible? Well, our bodies are wired with these things called pain receptors. They're basically tiny alarm systems that tell you when something's wrong. You've got them all over. But here's the crazy part. The brain, the master controller for your entire body, has zero pain receptors. None. It is physically incapable of feeling pain. Which, of course, leads to the big question. If my brain can't feel a thing, then what in the world is causing all that throbbing and aching when I have a monster of a headache? Well, it's time to meet the real culprits. It turns out there are several structures surrounding your brain that are absolutely loaded with those pain receptors, and they're the ones sending out the emergency signals. First up, your muscles. Ever notice you get a headache after a really stressful day? That's because the muscles in your neck, all across your scalp, and even in your jaw can get super tense. That tension is a huge reason we get those common tension headaches. Next on our list are the blood vessels. The ones wrapped around the base and surface of your brain are really sensitive. If they swell up or get inflamed, boy, they can create that deep, throbbing pain. In fact, this is a major player when it comes to migraines. And last but not least, we have the nerves. You've got this whole web of nerves running through your face, head, and neck. If they get irritated or inflamed for any reason, they don't stay quiet about it. They fire off pain signals like there's no tomorrow. So here's how it all connects. Your muscles, your blood vessels, and your nerves. They're the ones feeling the distress. They send this storm of pain signals to your brain. Your brain then acts like the central command, processing all these alerts and basically telling you, hey, pay attention, we've got a headache going on down here. So we know what's hurting, but the next logical question is why? What are the everyday things that are setting off these muscles, blood vessels, and nerves in the first place? Let's run through some of the usual suspects, shall we? Number 1, dehydration. Not drinking enough water can actually cause your brain tissue to shrink a little, pulling on those sensitive areas. Then there's stress and anxiety. That goes right to tensing up those neck and scalp muscles we talked about. Lack of sleep, that just throws your whole body's chemistry off. Staring at a screen for hours causes eye strain and, you guessed it, more muscle tension. And yeah, even skipping your morning coffee or a meal can mess with the blood flow and kick things off. So let's bring this all home. Now you have this incredible insight. The next time you feel that familiar ache starting, you'll have a much better idea of what's really going on. All right, so let's recap the big takeaways here. First, and most importantly, your brain itself can't feel pain. The pain you feel is actually coming from the muscles, nerves, and blood vessels surrounding it. They're sending signals that your brain just interprets as a headache. And a lot of the time, the whole thing is started by simple everyday triggers like stress or not drinking enough water. And that really brings us to a final thought for you to take away. Understanding the real what and why behind your headaches is a superpower. So think about it for a second. What's your biggest trigger? Because knowing the answer to that might just be the key to having a whole lot fewer of them.